Fox 2's Patrick Clark taking us underground, where a tunnel dating back to the 1800s has been uncovered for the first time.
You may know of some wonders of the world, but what we are not told are the secret marvels hidden beneath them.
Dude, you hear that echoing? Oh my God, that was...
From the depths of the ocean to the heart of bustling cities, recent strange and mysterious findings
50 tons, if not a bit more each. There's the large crystals here, and then there's what I call these shark's teeth, these daggers of crystals.
have left us questioning our understanding of history and reality. How were these remarkable discoveries made, and what stories do they reveal about the past? Join us as we explore the most astonishing archaeological finds ever uncovered.
It's so huge! Giant! Metal!
Including one dating back over 3 million years. Number 15. Mexico's underwater river. Let's begin with something truly fascinating and a bit strange. Beneath the surface of Mexico's Cenote Angelita, there's an incredible natural wonder called an underwater river. At first, it sounds confusing, right? But it's actually a cool phenomenon that happens because of different water densities. Think of it like the layers in a cake, where heavier water settles under lighter water. In this case, hydrogen sulfide plays a big role. It comes from rotting plants and organic material in the cenote and mixes with fresh water, creating those layers. What looks like a river isn't really flowing like a regular one. Instead, it's a thick, still section of denser water that looks just like a river sitting quietly beneath the surface. This isn't just a shallow little pool either. It goes as deep as 100 meters. Divers have to go through a cave at 55 meters just to reach it. Once they do, they're rewarded with an incredible sight. The top layer of water is perfectly clear, but as they go deeper, they move through the fresh water and into this surreal underwater scene. The change between the layers is sharp, creating a boundary that almost seems unreal. Leaves and branches from the trees above have fallen into the water, creating colorful banks along the sides of the underwater river. These bits of nature make it look almost like a forest beneath the surface, giving the place a magical, dreamlike feel. Light streaming in from above adds a soft glow, making it one of the most beautiful underwater sights in the world. It's like nature showing off its artistic side, where water behaves in unexpected but amazing ways. In some ways, this underwater river is like clouds in the sky. Both involve layers of different densities that come together to create something incredible. But finding something like this underwater river is rare and can only be seen in a few places around the world. The Cenote Angelita is proof of just how beautiful and diverse the natural world can be. Its unique mix of geological and chemical features, combined with its stunning appearance, make it a must-see for divers and nature lovers. It's a reminder of how much of nature is still waiting to be explored. Even the strangest things can happen right under our feet, hidden deep in the earth. It's as if nature wants to remind us that it's been here long before humans and will continue to exist long after we're gone. Something we'll see again as we explore the next amazing sight. Number 14. Bali's tourist airplanes. Our next stop is Bali, Indonesia, a place famous for its beautiful landscapes and rich culture. But hidden away near a limestone quarry is something pretty unexpected: an abandoned Boeing 737 that's been sitting there since 2007. It's not near any airport, and there's no sign of a crash, which makes people wonder how it got there. The most common story is that someone with big dreams brought the plane to the spot, hoping to turn it into a unique restaurant. But things didn't go as planned, and the idea was left unfinished, leaving the plane sitting in the field for years. Even though the project was never completed, the site has become a strange tourist attraction. Visitors come to see this huge airplane in the middle of nowhere, making it another interesting part of Bali's tourism scene. And that's not the only abandoned plane on the island. There are actually two more, each with its own story. One is next to a Dunkin' Donuts, which makes for a strange mix of modern shops and forgotten history. The other plane sits on a cliff with an amazing view of the ocean below. These old planes have become part of Bali's quirky charm, attracting visitors curious about their mysterious presence. No one really knows the full story behind these planes, but they definitely add a sense of wonder to the island. Maybe one day, someone will pick up where things left off and finally turn one of these planes into the restaurant it was meant to be. Number 13. Secret underground tunnels. Freddie Goodall, a property developer from Brighton, England, found himself on an unexpected adventure when he noticed something strange in his library, which was a doorway that seemed to have disappeared. His curiosity got the better of him, so he decided to take a closer look. Behind a bookshelf, he uncovered a hidden room, and as he kept exploring, he discovered a huge network of underground tunnels. It turns out these secret passageways were likely used by servants long ago so they could move around the mansion without being seen. Goodall shared his incredible discovery on social media, including TikTok, where his videos quickly went viral. Along the way, he found all sorts of old items like school books, desks, and letters. These artifacts revealed that the house had once been a boarding school back in the early 1900s. The whole thing felt like something straight out of a mystery novel. Meanwhile, a couple named Gary and Beth Machins in Alton, Illinois, made a similar discovery in their own home during renovations. They stumbled upon an entrance under the sidewalk that led to a hidden room untouched for over 100 years. Inside, they found an archway and a pile of dirt that seemed frozen in time. Experts think the tunnel might date back to 1895, though no one is quite sure why it was built. Some believe it may have been used for smuggling, as an escape route, or even as part of the Underground Railroad. Others think it might have been an ice house or a root cellar. The discovery has sparked a lot of interest, and the Machins hope to preserve it, and maybe even offer tours someday. These hidden places give us a peek into the past, almost like stepping into a forgotten world. The mystery of these secret spaces is hard to resist because they remind us that history can be tucked away right under our feet, waiting to be found. Discovering these spots can feel like opening a time capsule, revealing how people once lived, worked, or even sought safety. Each discovery adds a new piece to the puzzle of the past, making us wonder what other stories our homes might be hiding. Just like Gary and Beth's surprising find, there's another couple who uncovered something in their home, but what they discovered is truly unbelievable. Number 12. 100-year-old whiskey stash. Nick Drummond and Patrick Barker, a couple living in Ames, New York, were in for a big surprise when they started renovating their old home, which was originally built in 1915. The house had always been surrounded by stories about its mysterious past. Locals claimed it was built by a German man named Count Adolf Humpfner, rumored to be a bootlegger during the Prohibition era. Back then, from 1920 to 1933, making, transporting, or selling alcohol was illegal in the United States. Instead of reducing drinking, it led to secret bars and illegal alcohol sales. Nick and Patrick thought those old rumors were just small-town gossip, until their renovations revealed something unexpected. As they worked, they uncovered a hidden package tucked away in the walls. Inside was a bottle of old smuggler Gaelic whiskey, a brand still sold today. Curious about what else might be hidden, they kept searching and found 66 bottles of whiskey scattered throughout the house, carefully stashed in walls and under floorboards. Some bottles were empty, but many still had whiskey inside, showing how cleverly the bootlegger had hidden his supply to dodge the law. The couple's discovery not only shed light on the house's secret history, but also had financial value. Experts estimated that the bottles could sell for about $1,000 each, turning their renovation into a journey through time and an unexpected treasure hunt. Number 11. Naica's Cave of the Giants. Back in 2000, miners near a small town in northern Mexico were on a routine job, digging deep into a mountain to find new ore deposits. But what they uncovered that day was anything but ordinary. As they dug further, they stumbled upon a giant cavern shaped like a horseshoe, filled with enormous crystals of gleaming gypsum. These crystals weren't just big, they were massive, with some stretching over 25 feet long, almost like giant telephone poles standing proudly from the walls, floors, and ceiling. The cave, later called the Cave of Crystals, formed over hundreds of thousands of years. The unique mix of mineral-rich water and heat from underground magma created the perfect environment for these crystals to grow. The breathtaking sight earned it the nickname Cave of the Giants because of its otherworldly beauty. The cave lay hidden under a mountain, rich in lead, zinc, and silver, and news of its discovery quickly drew scientists and researchers from across the globe. Not only was the cave stunning, but it also held scientific mysteries that sparked curiosity. As researchers explored, they suspected more hidden chambers might be waiting to be found. But exploring this natural wonder wasn't easy. Inside the cave, the temperature soared to nearly 136 degrees Fahrenheit, with almost 100% humidity. Without special gear, no one could stay inside for long. On top of that, the crystals were fragile, and any further digging risked damaging them. The cave was only accessible because of the mine's water pumps. When mining operations stopped in 2015, the cave began to flood again. Researchers decided to leave it as it was, allowing this incredible underground wonder to remain untouched and preserved beneath the earth. A hidden marvel, waiting for future generations to admire. Number 10. The hidden treasure under the sewing machine. 2 years after the discovery of Naica's cave giants, a story unfolded that completely changed the life of Carl Sabatino, whose grandmother, Jenny Verastro, left him with a strange final message. On her deathbed, she told him, "Don't forget to look under the sewing machine." Her words stuck with Carl, and curiosity got the best of him. When he finally lifted the cover of the old sewing machine, he found a hidden painting wrapped in old newspaper, which was something he never expected. This wasn't just any artwork. It had the signature of one of the most famous artists in the world, Pablo Picasso. The painting, titled "Woman with a Cape," showed a woman wearing an intriguing hat and radiating charm. Carl was amazed, but knew there had to be more to the story. As he dug deeper, he discovered that his grandfather had bought the painting in London for just $10 in 1944. To keep it safe, he had wrapped it up and hidden it beneath the sewing machine. Carl wanted to know the true value of this hidden treasure, so he consulted an art appraiser in Florida. After detailed testing, including fingerprint analysis and checking the type of paint used, it was confirmed that the painting was an authentic Picasso. Though it wasn't one of the artist's original masterpieces, it still carried significant worth, with experts estimating its value at around $25 million. But just like that, Picasso painting hidden under the sewing machine wasn't forgotten. This next discovery also didn't stay buried, literally. Number 9. Shipwreck resurfaces. The sands of time have a way of hiding secrets, and sometimes nature itself brings these mysteries to light in surprising ways. One such discovery happened not too long ago, when the remains of a long-buried ship were revealed on Daytona Beach shores, Florida, after Hurricane Nicole passed through. The storm had shifted the sand just enough to uncover a large, mysterious structure beneath the surface. This strange find, about 20 feet in length, looked like part of an old ship, probably dating back to the 19th century. Experts quickly identified it as likely being the stern or side of the ship. As word spread, a team of archaeologists and historians started to investigate the ship's identity and what it might reveal about history. The process wasn't simple, though. Excavating the wreckage could cause irreparable damage, so every step had to be carefully planned. It became a delicate balancing act, revealing the ship's secrets while preserving it for future study. The discovery got experts excited, and they began to theorize about the ship's past. Maybe it was a cargo or merchant ship, lost to pirates, a disaster, or a tragic accident at sea. As the excavation continued, each new artifact and piece of wood brought them closer to solving the mystery. This was more than just a shipwreck. It was a rare peek into maritime history. With each layer of sand removed, the team knew they were part of something special, uncovering a piece of history that had been buried beneath the beach for years. Number 8. Shiny, mystery, purple spheres. In 2013, something really strange happened in the wide, sandy desert of Tucson, Arizona. Geraldine Vargas and her husband, a local couple, went out for a casual walk in the desert, not expecting anything out of the ordinary. But as they wandered through the dry, dusty land, they stumbled upon a sight that no one could easily explain. Scattered all across the desert floor were countless shiny orbs. These weren't your everyday objects. They came in different sizes. Some were see-through, and others looked kind of damp, but all of them had this weird purple glow that didn't seem natural at all. When the couple bent down to touch them, they found that the orbs were soft and squishy, like jelly, and when they pressed on them, a strange liquid oozed out, leaving Geraldine and her husband in shock. Even the scientists who came later, including zoologists, botanists, couldn't figure out what these odd spheres were. Years of studying them didn't bring any clear answers. Word about the discovery spread quickly, and soon, curious people and reporters were rushing to see the mysterious orbs for themselves. But after a few days, the orbs began to dry up and disappear, leaving behind almost nothing for further study. The whole event raised a ton of questions. Could these mysterious spheres have come from another planet? Or were they just some strange part of nature that no one had ever seen before? Scientists are still hopeful that someday they'll solve this puzzle. But the next natural phenomenon is even stranger. So strange it might just be a one-way ticket to meeting the devil himself. Number 7. The Gates of Hell. Deep in the Karakum Desert of Turkmenistan, there's an incredible natural feature that has captured the imagination of many who visit. It's called the Door to Hell, or more officially, the Darvaza gas crater. This fiery pit has been burning non-stop for more than 50 years. The crater is about 226 feet wide and 98 feet deep. Its glowing flames can be seen from miles away, creating a scene that feels almost like something from another world. Surprisingly, this isn't the result of a volcano. Instead, it's caused by a huge underground natural gas reserve that has been burning for decades. The story of how this fiery crater came to be starts in 1971, when Soviet geologists were drilling for oil in the desert. During their work, they accidentally hit a large pocket of natural gas, causing the ground to collapse and form a big sinkhole around 60 meters wide and 35 meters long. To prevent dangerous methane gas from escaping into the air, the scientists decided to set the gas on fire, thinking it would burn out in just a few days. But to their surprise, the fire never went out and has been burning ever since. The exact details of how this happened are still a bit of a mystery, leading to all sorts of theories. Some people think it's a portal to hell, while others believe it could have been a secret place for testing weapons. Regardless of its origin, the Gates of Hell has become an unexpected tourist attraction, drawing thousands of visitors every year. This extraordinary natural wonder, with its endless flames, shows no sign of stopping anytime soon. Number 6. Underwater trains. When we think of trains, we usually picture them running on tracks across the land. But what if I told you that some trains have ended up deep under the ocean? Off the coast of New Jersey, 2 massive trains from the Civil War era were found submerged at an incredible depth of 90 meters. These huge locomotives, dating back to the 1850s, raise all sorts of questions about how they got there. Yet, the details are still a mystery. Some theories suggest they were part of an old transport system that met an unexpected end, but no one knows for sure. In another surprising discovery, a Russian YouTuber captured footage of a train lying underwater during a diving trip. The theory here is that this train fell off a bridge and crashed into the water below. Things get even more fascinating with Tom Crossman, an underwater recovery expert from Minnesota. In July of 2016, Crossman made an incredible find at the bottom of Lake Superior, near Schreiber, Ontario. He discovered a train that had been lost for 106 years. The train, known as CPR 694, derailed on June 9, 1910, after hitting a boulder on the tracks. It fell 20 meters down a cliff before sinking another 60 meters to the lake's bottom. Using a remotely operated vehicle equipped with a camera, Crossman and his team found the wrecked locomotive. This was the first time anyone had seen the train in over a century. The remains include the wheels and some other parts, but the train is too damaged to be brought back up in one piece. This discovery sparked a lot of interest in the area's history and the tragic event that caused the train to crash. It's an amazing example of how modern technology can help us find hidden pieces of the past. But if you think underwater trains are strange, wait until you hear about the opposite. Number 5. Desert ships. Moynac, once a bustling port city on the shores of the Aral Sea, now stands nearly empty, a shadow of what it used to be. Back in the 1960s, Moynac was home to more than 40,000 people and was a center for fishing and trade. But things took a tragic turn when the Soviet Union decided to redirect the water for irrigation. Over the next 40 years, the Aral Sea started to shrink, losing about 90% of its water. This environmental disaster left the area devastated and turned the once lively port city into a ghost town. The tragedy of Moynac is marked by a chilling sight featuring old ships left behind in what is now desert land. These rusty ships, which were once used for fishing and trade, now sit stranded, far from any water. They serve as haunting reminders of how human actions can cause irreversible harm to nature. Despite the sadness that surrounds Moynak, there is still a small museum that tells the story of its past as a fishing hub. There's also a memorial near the old shoreline of the Aral Sea, offering a place to reflect on the environmental disaster that changed the town forever. Interestingly, even in its deserted state, Moynak has found new life as the site of the largest electronic music festival in Central Asia, called the Stihia Festival. Since 2018, the festival has been held every year, drawing thousands of visitors and featuring performances by top DJs from Uzbekistan and Europe. Number 4. Magic Roman Cup. The Lycurgus Cup, a breathtaking Roman artifact that's about 1600 years old, is a true wonder of ancient craftsmanship. What makes it so special is its unique dichroic glass, which changes color depending on where the light comes from. When the cup is lit from the front, it looks green, but if you shine light from behind, it turns a deep red. This incredible color change happens because tiny gold particles are embedded in the glass, something scientists only figured out in the 21st century. This color-shifting effect, known as dichroism, shows just how advanced the Romans were with materials, possibly understanding things that would later be known as nanotechnology. The detailed designs on the cup tell the story of King Lycurgus, who tried to harm Ambrosia, a follower of Dionysus. In response, Ambrosia turned into a vine that trapped the king, leading to his downfall. Made sometime between 290 and 325 AAD, the secrets of the Lycurgus cup stayed hidden until 1990. That's when researchers used electron microscopes to discover the gold nanoparticles that cause its color-changing magic. Today, the Lycurgus cup is kept in the British Museum, where it's still one of the most amazing examples of Roman glasswork. Whether it was by chance or brilliant design, the creators of the Lycurgus cup were way ahead of their time. This artifact continues to fascinate and puzzle researchers, standing not just as a symbol of Roman artistry, but also as an early glimpse into nanotechnology. It's a lasting testament to human ingenuity. And while these ancient discoveries make us appreciate great empires of the past, some people today find joy in celebrating snakes. Our next discovery takes us to India. Number 3. Snake houses. In India, snakes are more than just animals because they are deeply respected, especially in Hindu culture. These impressive reptiles hold great spiritual importance and are often seen as sacred. Every year, during the Nag Panchami festival, people come together to honor and worship snakes, offering them food and asking for blessings. But for one family in Pune, Maharashtra, their respect for snakes turned into a surprising and a bit scary experience. They discovered that their home had become an unexpected home for many snakes, including cobras and kraits. These snakes slithered into their rooms, kitchens, and even crawled along the walls and ceiling. At first, the family thought it was just a small problem, but soon they realized it had become a full-blown invasion, with the snakes settling in like they owned the place. Interestingly, this wasn't a one-time thing in Pune. Snakes, especially cobras, are quite common in many homes there. The people in the community don't fear them. Instead, they show them deep respect. They allow the snakes to move freely and even welcome them into their homes. This unique practice is part of a cultural tradition where snakes are seen as divine beings. The villagers treat these snakes almost like honorary family members, offering them a safe space as part of their spiritual beliefs. This unusual relationship between humans and snakes shows a special kind of understanding and harmony between the two. Today, for our subscribers' pick, we're heading to Kenya's Homer Peninsula, a part of the East African Rift Valley often called the cradle of humankind. It's a special place where archaeologists have discovered the door to tools that are over 3 million years old. These ancient tools are known as the Oldowan toolkit. They include small flakes or knives made by hitting one stone against another. Back then, these tools were used for all sorts of things, like peeling and cutting fruits and vegetables, and even butchering animals like hippos. This discovery is super important because it shows how early human ancestors were already making technological advances. The Oldowan tools helped them get to a wider variety of foods, which probably played a big role in the growth of their bodies and brains. This kind of technology was a huge step forward and set the stage for more innovations down the road. What's really interesting is that, along with these tools, scientists also found a tooth belonging to a Paranthropus, an early hominin that isn't directly related to us. This suggests that making tools wasn't just something humans came up with. It seems like humanity's ancestors picked up the idea and used it to get ahead of other hominins. These discoveries give us a fascinating look into how early human ancestors learned to adapt and come up with new ideas. But what do you think? Are these 3 million-year-old tools the oldest we'll ever find? Or do you think there are even older ones waiting to be discovered? Let us know in the comments below. Number 2. Forrest Fenn's treasure. In 2010, a wealthy art collector named Forrest Fenn sparked the imaginations of treasure hunters all over the world when he announced that he had hidden a chest filled with gold and precious artifacts somewhere in the mountains of New Mexico. For years, the treasure remained a mystery, fueling the curiosity of adventurers everywhere. The hunt, filled with riddles and clues, seemed like it would never end. Then, in 2019, the treasure was finally discovered, and the story was nothing short of amazing. The chest was found in the rugged terrain near Red Mountain Pass in Colorado. The area had been covered by a thick layer of snow for weeks, making it impossible to reach. But one day, Denny Badunk, a snowplow driver, stumbled upon the chest while clearing the snow. As Denny dug through the snow and debris, he uncovered a chest with the words "Fenn's treasure" written on it. When he opened it, he found an incredible collection of treasures, copies of the Golden Jewels book, albums by Jewel and Joan Baez, and a rare vintage issue of Chattanooga Choo Choo. But the most surprising find was a signed manuscript by Forrest Fenn himself, carefully tucked beneath a Neil Diamond CD. This chest wasn't just a collection of valuable items. It was a piece of history directly connected to the man who had created the treasure hunt. The discovery added a new chapter to the legend of Forrest Fenn, solidifying his place in treasure hunting history. The chest's contents, both artistic and historical, will continue to captivate and inspire those who hear about the great treasure hunt for many years to come. And now, to wrap things up, we travel back to Rome for yet another beautiful discovery. Number 1. Ancient Roman mosaic. In the beautiful countryside of northern Italy, an exciting archaeological discovery has given us new insights into the grandeur of ancient Rome. While surveying the area, experts found a perfectly preserved Roman mosaic under a vineyard in a region just north of Verona. This mosaic, which was once part of a grand Roman villa, had been buried under several meters of earth for more than 2,000 years. As they carefully removed the layers of soil, the intricate designs of the mosaic came into view, showing off the artistic skills of the Romans. The discovery is important not just because of its beauty, but also because it connects to the ruins of a Roman villa that were first found over 100 years ago. The mosaic's vibrant and detailed patterns give us a peek into the luxurious lifestyle of the Roman elite, offering a snapshot of the opulence they enjoyed. Now, archaeologists, working with local authorities, are carefully excavating and preserving both the mosaic and the villa's foundations for future study and public display. This incredible find reminds us that history is often right beneath our feet, just waiting to be uncovered. Who knows? There could be more ancient treasures still hidden, just waiting for the right moment to be found. Thanks for watching. See you in our next video.